Hey friends, Peggy Hall back with you from thehealthyamerican.org. You know, Xfinity apparently is sponsoring the Olympics, and Comcast owns Xfinity, and Comcast is blatantly discriminating against job applicants. I'm going to share that with you. This information came to me from a Healthy American who is looking for a job. So if you are looking for a job and you are still seeing that vaccination required and boosters and all that kind of hogwash, let me know, because I want to help you get that interview and get that job without discrimination. We're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at the hypocrisy of Comcast. Let me know if they are your carrier or internet provider or what have you. And before we go any further, let me thank the sponsor of our video for today's show. And we're hopping on over to my favorite sponsor, NobleGoldInvestments.com. Are you worried about the future of the U.S. economy? With so much uncertainty in the air, it's natural to fret about the security of your retirement savings. But there is one asset that has stood the test of time, and that is gold. For centuries, gold has been a hedge against market volatility and economic instability. With the Gold IRA from Noble Gold Investments, you can harness the power of precious metals to help protect your financial future. You can roll over your existing IRA or 401k into a self-directed gold IRA, and you can enjoy the potential for long-term growth and stability. So diversify your portfolio with a tangible asset that has real value, and it is tangible. I want you to find out everything by calling 877-646-5347. Find out how to get that gold sent to you at home. And setting up your gold IRA has never been easier than with Noble Gold Investments' streamlined process and expert guidance. This election year, do not let election volatility and uncertainty keep you up at night. You can vote for the timeless safety of gold and silver in 2024. And if you are let's go here. If you're a Trump fan, look at what you get. 10 1-ounce silver coins. And if you are not a Trump fan, you can choose instead to get this 10-ounce silver American flag bar if you open up a qualified account. So go to noblegoldinvestments.com. It's the only gold company that I trust. There is always a risk of investment. Of course, there's no guarantee of any kind, but find out from the experts at noblegoldinvestments.com. I'll have a link for you in the description box below. Friends, I hear from so many people that are looking for jobs and they are still being discriminated against, and they can't even get their foot in the door for an interview. Let me share with you this actual job posting from Comcast. And here it is. I'm going to get this all queued up for you. Take a look at this. This is from Comcast, and it is a job description for mailroom, mail clerk, and legal assistant. And it is from 9 to 6. You start out as temporary, and look at what they have right here. Must be fully vaccinated. 2 shots and booster required. So imagine how many people are going to stop right there and not even apply for this job. So here we have Ravi Patel, and he's the senior associate for Lance Soft Inc., but it actually is a Comcast company. So there's all the other, requirements and in terms of what you need for your experience and so forth. But what I want to share with you is actually the Comcast website. So let's hop on over here to Comcast and take a look now, shall we? I am going to share my screen. Here we go. Let me know if you work for Comcast, if you know of anybody who works for Comcast, if you have been discriminated against because it says that you have to be fully vaxxed and boosted. So this is jobs. This is their job page. And let's just scroll down a little bit more here. They're showing us all of their stuff. And yes, all of the diversity and equity. So yeah, you can take a look at the images that they've selected to put on their page for people that they want to recruit to work for them. And here you go. So they obviously have no problem with men who identify as women. And look, I don't have any problem with that. If that's your choice, just don't, make me go along with your fairy tale. But if you want to dress like that and all, go for it. But here's the issue. Comcast is allowing for men to identify as women, and Comcast goes along with that. And there's a lot more I could say about that. But what my point is here we have an applicant applying for a job. And I'm surprised maybe they do. I didn't see it in that job description. They probably are going to ask if you're a he or a she, or, what your pronouns are. And I would say, far more important than my pronouns are my adjectives. Like I'm hardworking and loyal and creative and innovative and timely and resourceful. I think adjectives are far more important than pronouns. What say you? However, what you say when you are faced with that job description is the first thing you write back, and you say, "Oh, I'm very interested. Thank you for the information. I would like to know if Comcast is in compliance with Title VII of the U.S. Civil Rights Act." And that's all you say. You wait for their response. And they ideally are going to say, "Yes, we have a robust non-discrimination policy. And here is our page with all of our diversity and equity pictures to show you that we don't discriminate." And you're like, "Fantastic, because I have a federally protected civil rights position, or I am federally protected by these civil rights laws, and I would like to apply for the job." And you leave it a little bit mysterious like that, so they can probe and ask more questions. And they're probably thinking, "Oh, are you Black or gay or trans, or are you over the age of 40, or whatever the case may be," with these federally protected classes where it is illegal for a company the size of Comcast, basically any company with 15 employees or more. In the state of California, it's any company with 5 employees, or I think that's the correct number. And many states have their own non-discrimination laws. It's illegal to discriminate against you in the job application process based on your age, on your gender, one of the two, on your ethnic background, on your medical condition, and on your religious beliefs. So I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The issue with whether or not you are a human pincushion or not, that's not the issue. The issue is that it is a civil rights issue. And when you use those terms, civil rights, and you don't want to be discriminated against because of your civil rights, that gets their attention. They don't want to hear about religious exemptions. They want to hear about not being discriminated against due to civil rights protection. So that's the phrase that you're going to use. You want to open up a conversation. You want to get it on the record, meaning in writing from the employer, that they are in compliance with Title VII non-discrimination laws. Then you open up the conversation and you say that I have a religiously protected right of keeping my body pure. And these laws also protect me from being discriminated against in the interview process. So you could do that right off the bat, or I recommend that you wait until you have the job interview and they want to offer you the job. So if you go to bat right from the get-go and say, "Hey, I'm not vaccinated," you have no right to say that. They probably are not going to call you for an interview, and they will fib and find a way to eliminate you from being in the pool of applicants. So I would wait until you are interviewed and until they're going to offer you a job. And we have helped employee candidates who were actually offered the job, and then they said, "Oh, here's where you put in your vaccine paperwork." And the person says, "Well, I would like to know what paperwork you have for the exemption, because I am exempt and I need to be accommodated." And they backpedaled and they said, in one case, they said, "Oh, we want you to rescind your offer of our job." And it's like, "Oh, no, 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 no." And that would put me as the one saying, I don't want this job and I want this job. As a matter of fact, I already accepted the job and you are required by law to give me an accommodation. And then they went through all these weird things where they said, well, it was actually a school district. So it was a government agency. And they said, well, in that case, you can apply for all of these other jobs. And the person is like, oh no, I don't have to apply for another job. You already hired me. And it's up to you to find me a position. And this was a few years ago when they were still, people were living in fear of somebody breathing on them. And I believe it was a curriculum coordinator. So she was going to be working with teachers. And she's like, well, I can do all of this from home. I can work on the curriculum. We can have Zoom meetings. I don't need to go anywhere in person. And they hemmed and they hawed and they went through all of these, all this rigmarole. And they finally said, well, we're going to give you this different position, but there's no signing bonus and it's $9 an hour less than what we offered you. And guess what my response was? You got it. Oh, no, 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 no. And oh, I have the same job title and I have the same pay and I have the same signing bonus as you hired me with. Now, whether or not you want me to do those tasks, that's on you, but you hired me and I accepted it and you are required to accommodate me. And they did. It took a long time. This was back in the day with a lot of ignorance. There's still a lot of ignorance apparently at Comcast, but my final salvo would be, if they hem and haw, you would say, well, I identify as fully immunized. Yes, by the power of the Holy Spirit, God created me with a mechanism to fight off illness and disease. I don't want to get into the science too much of it, but the point being, if someone can identify as a person of the opposite sex that they were born with, did I say that correctly? Then why can't you identify, right? If you're changing your physicality, your biology, the science, then why can't you just identify as fully vaccinated? What say you? All right, friends, thanks for being on board. I really appreciate all of you who have been standing up for your rights. I'm actually kind of tired of talking about religious exemptions and the cocktails and cooties and all of that, but many people are still hopping on board and I don't want them to miss the information. That's why I'm bringing it here from time to time. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate you being with me as we march this all the way to heaven. Be sure that you stand by for tomorrow's video. I've got some uplifting news that I want to share with you. See you soon, everybody.